Welcome to the Scandalous Scandal Recap. I'm Larry Brown Jr. This is Season 5, Episode 12 of Scandal, The Wild Card. I'm Larry Brown Jr., as I said again, and as you can see at the bottom of the screen. And this is the Janiyah Wright of the Scandal Recap. Janiyah, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, LBJ. Hi, everybody. LBJ, I am excited about the chat tonight. Tonight's episode was so juicy, LBJ.
It was very, very juicy. I will say, Janiyah, that tonight it started a bit slow for me, but it began to pick up and become what I love about Scandal. And I am excited about talking about tonight. So are you drinking ice water right there?
It is ice water. Let me tell you.
I need some right now. I have this tepid room temperature water right here. I need some ice water. It is so hot in here.
It is so hot, LBJ. It's like the temperature has gone up, yet no one turned my radiator off. So I walked in this evening to literally Hades in this apartment. I got the windows open. Woo, let's just hope I don't sweat out during the chat.
Right. I guess the key indicator, if you're going to sweat it out, will be your hair by the end of the chat,
right? Exactly. And the shine level on my nose.
Exactly.
That's what'll give it away.
If this is your first time watching, we're so glad that you're here. If you're a return gladiator watching Scandal Recap, welcome back. Welcome home to the Scandal Recap. This is where you can talk about the show live immediately following the East Coast broadcast of Scandal. And if you're watching us afterwards, feel free to leave a comment in the YouTube video and we will holler back at you after the show has gone off the air. If you're watching live, make sure you post your comments and questions in the Q&A on the side of the page, or you can also post comments on the Google Plus page, or you can tweet them to my name, or you can tweet them to Janiyah's name, and use the hashtag Scandal Recap. Let us begin with this episode called Wild Card. What did you think about what the episode was going to entail tonight when you saw the title of the episode?
You know, Wild Card, I had no idea, LBJ, that it was going to be, what it turned out to be in tonight's episode. But I have to tell you, decoding the titles, I have to be honest, I never attempt that. I just like to be at the end of the show and then say, oh, great title, Shonda.
Yeah.
Great title. What did you think it was going to be about?
So I thought there was going to be some big epiphany of guess who this is? Guess who that is? I thought we were going to figure someone out, or someone's going to be revealed or something. But now that I think about it, there wasn't really someone to be revealed, so to speak, tonight. So I was glad to find out what wild card meant in the show when we figured out the more code names used inside the White House and Secret Service. But before we get into that, I think we should talk about some of the things that developed today on this show.
Yes.
Where do you think we should begin? I'm thinking we can, well, you tell me, ladies first. I'll let you go.
Well, LBJ, I think we have to start with one of my favorite storylines of the night, and that is with our favorite character, David Rosen. Because once again, he is the absolute worst. Okay? David Rosen is willingly, I said it, willingly at the middle of this love triangle. So LBJ, let us just back up and give context and reminders, and then let's talk about tonight. So as we all know, David and Lizzie Bear DeGeneres have been having an affair. Lizzie Bear DeGeneres came up with the master plan of David manipulating Susan Ross into running for president because why? Susan Ross is in love with David Rosen. And so we for this episode, we're watching Lizzie Bear DeGeneres exploit David, and we're watching David exploit Susan Ross. And poor Susan Ross, the original Scandal Muppet, she is sitting there being manipulated by everyone. She is sitting there unawares, okay, being manipulated by everyone, and you're just feeling so bad for her. What did you think of this storyline tonight, LBJ?
Listen, I quickly thought of, I think it was Jackie O 2006 or one of the other people that watched and hang out with us during the Scandal Recap. I quickly thought of their comment last week when they were like, I really hope it was Zoe. Zoe said, I really hope that David Rosen doesn't hurt Susan Ross. I really hope David Rosen doesn't hurt Susan Ross.
Too.
And I really feel, wow, my beard is like all kinds of wild man right now. But yeah, I feel like David Rosen.
The beard has character, LBJ.
Lots of character. Great
Lots of character.
I think that David Rosen is going to hurt Susan Ross, and Susan Ross is going to be a woman scorned like no other.
Yes.
And it will be interesting to see what comes of this entire relationship. If Lizzie Bear DeGeneres continues to catch feelings, as she showed by the end of the episode, and because Susan Ross has feelings, but really, if David Rosen catches feelings, I think she's going to end up pushing the ultimatum on David, and David might really end up choosing the scandal Susan Ross, as you like to say. Ricky Ra, it's in the Q&A. Hey, Ricky Ra, I believe Susan Ross is going to flambe David and Lizzie Bear. I think Ricky, I'm telling you, something is going to go down between Susan Ross and everyone else, and it's not going to be good when Susan Ross catches the flame. It's not going to be good.
Her guy is going to come out. In the words of Huck, her guy is going to come right out. Because I'll tell you, there's a thin line between love and hate. And you know, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Especially a Susan Ross scorn.
Especially a Muppet. You get a Muppet mad, well, you're in for trouble. Okay,
I feel bad for those puppeteers for that episode. I feel bad for those puppeteers. Can you imagine the kind of fingers that they've got to use?
Yeah, it's gonna be very aggressive puppetry.
Yes.
Crazy. LBJ, so in tonight's episode, we see David Rosen once again being told what to do by Lizzie Bear DeGeneres. And, you know, we see him being manipulated by her. She's using her sexual, energies to confuse him. Using what, LBJ? The nectar.
The nectar. This is hooch. This is Melly hooch nectar tonight. We both have hooch nectar.
Yes, we do. Got that good hooch nectar. Yes. Okay. Flowing all out of Lizzie Bear directly onto all around, hither and through David Rosen. Okay. And here he is doing her bidding. But I agree with you, LBJ. We saw him get a little caught up today. So he's there. He has scheduled a date with Susan Ross. Okay. And Susan Ross is, over there glowing, chitty chatty. And David, he's feeling a little guilty. He says to Lizzie Bear DeGeneres, I'm going out with Susan Ross tonight. I can't sleep with you. No, I'm going to sleep with Susan Ross tonight. And Lizzie Bear DeGeneres, she doesn't care. She says, man up, David. She totally manipulates this guy.
What did she say?
Man up, David. I'm Lizzie Bear DeGeneres. I'm the boss of everything. And she literally forces him. He goes there, LBJ. The next time we see him, he's laying in the bed next to Susan Ross. Okay, they've now sealed the deal. So David Rosen is in the sexual relationship with two women. Okay, whack number one and wacko. Okay, number two over here. And poor Susan Ross. She's the victim in this story.
Can I just say I loved the juxtaposition between the scene of David Rosen in his same spot in the bed. Did you think he changed the sheets between Susan Ross and Lizzie Bear DeGeneres? Do you think he changes the sheets, Tanaya?
You know what? I think he did. Because I think Lizzie Bear DeGeneres has hired cleaners to follow behind her throughout her life and scrape her DNA from places.
Oh, similar to the president, huh?
That's right. She's that important to herself.
Nice. But let me just say that Susan Ross definitely had a better nectar factor over David Rosen than Lizzie Bear DeGeneres did.
I agree.
Bed. Let me just say, the nectar factor for Susan Ross is here. Lizzie Bear DeGeneres is about right here.
Totally.
So,
I totally agree.
If Lizzie Bear can get it up here, she's got some room to really come to her level. Ida Matrix is hanging out with us live tonight, Janaya. And Ida Matrix says, Susan Ross is going to channel her inner Sally Langston. I agree. That would be awesome if Susan Ross did that. I mean, could you imagine Susan Ross doing Lovers of Liberty and doing a full Beltway report? It would be so good.
It would be so good, and it's so going to happen. I cannot wait. And let us just look forward to it. Susan Ross flipping completely out. We know what's going to happen, LBJ. We know what's going to happen.
We know what's going to happen. I want to know, though, what is going to happen on the show as it relates to the relationship that we've seen kind of unfold today with Olivia and her father. We've got this multi-layered, multi-tiered thing going on with Olivia and her father. And it was kind of a bit of a whirlwind, Janaya. And Olivia, there's like this kind of B storyline that was taking place with there. Really, it's kind of running in tandem, and it's with Olivia and Huck. And we see David. We see Huck warning Olivia. He's like, "Look, your daddy's got something going on, and Jake is in on it too. You need to figure out what this is, and come, believe me." And move with me so we can figure this out and beat them. Olivia's like, no, there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. We'll be fine. There's nothing going on. And he's just like, okay, when it hits the fan, you're going to figure out what it is, or I'm going to have to be there to help you figure out what it is. Cut to Olivia and her daddy having wine. And he's like, I'm just so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Olivia. And you just make Daddy so proud. And Daddy is so proud to be proud of you because you and Olivia, your name is Olivia. And because your name is Olivia, you are now drinking from the right chalice. And I'm just so proud of you. And Olivia, in the midst of all this talking that her father's doing, and he's pouring the wine, she stops and she has a moment of flashback.
Yes.
And let's back up. Before she has that moment,
mm-hmm.
her father put something in her head, and he's like, Jake is not one of us, Olivia. He established his common ground. This is Rowan Pope. This is why I like Rowan Pope. Rowan Pope gives great tips in communication and leadership.
Mm-hmm.
He says, he's not like one of us. He pulled an our kind of people card on her. He's like, she's not the talented tits. She didn't go to Howard University. She did not. She did not plan.
She didn't cross the burning sands.
Right,
she didn't
exactly.
do any of the things she was supposed to do.
Exactly. She did not have a debutante coming out. She's not a cotillion debutante. He's not a beau.
He is not. Right.
So because he's not one of us, I had to pull him from the streets. He was the work that I did. I volunteered those hours and sacrificed time to make him the man that he is today. I pulled him off of the streets, Olivia, when he was an orphan, and I brought him in. And this is how I made him to be. And now he is seeing someone, and we need to figure out who he's seeing because he is off his game. He is not the same person that I made him to be. You, Olivia, you're not like that, and you have it in you to figure out what's going on with him. Olivia, taking her father at his word at first, she's on board, and she's like, okay, maybe something is going on with Jake, and I need to figure out what's going on with it.
LBJ, I feel like I'm remembering this scene a little differently from you. Okay, when Eli and Olivia were on the bench, okay, and Eli.
I skipped the whole book thing. Okay, I skipped the whole book thing. Go ahead.
Eli and Olivia, they're on the bench, and we see them in one of those father-daughter moments where if you were walking down the street, you would not know the number of people that these two people sitting on this bench, so lovely and beautiful in their wool jackets, have murdered, manipulated,
right,
legislations they have forced through. You'd have no idea. They're sitting there looking as average and normal as any of us, sitting on the bench. What is Eli doing now? What he's doing in that moment is reminding Olivia that she is under his thumb. He's saying, listen, you're working for Melly right now because I advised you to. Keep up the good work, my child. Mm-hmm. He's also telling her, my other child, Jake, he's on a path that I feel is best for him. Jake has met someone, and I just want you to know that so that you can, give him some space. Olivia, of course, gets defensive. She says, listen, Jake is grown. If he's seeing someone, okay, that's nothing to do with me. Okay, we're all adults here. Now, those of us watching know that nothing that comes out of Eli's mouth is accidental.
Exactly.
What is he really trying to do by letting Olivia know that Jake is in a relationship and seeing someone, right? So LBJ, we're sitting here wondering, what is Eli up to? What is he really getting at as he's talking to Olivia? Okay. And then he says the line, LBJ, that I had to write down so.
Oh, what was it?
You're drinking from the chalice now.
Yes.
You're drinking from the chalice now. LBJ, listen, that was a line where he kind of said, listen, honey, give up the ghost, give in to me. Mm-hmm. I am command. I'm always in control. You're doing exactly what I've raised you to do. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, he does that, and he's just like, I'm so proud of you. I'm just so proud of you, Olivia. I love that conversation. And
So good.
Ricky Ra says Papa Pope and Olivia sitting on that bench were scary. They really could rule the world. What if they put their powers together and joined and became a super force? Like, could you imagine what the world would be like with Pope and Pope in charge?
Listen, I can, and it's called darkness. Okay, because Olivia, honey, girlfriend, you are not, the most virtuous person. Okay, she has a white hat, but it's covered in muck and mire. All right, because LBJ, there's something in Olivia that just so I have to wonder, LBJ, was Eli telling Olivia that Jake had another woman just so that Jake would be unattainable to her and less available so that she would desire him further? Eli knows her daughter's tendencies. She loves it when a man's off the market. She had that revelation last episode. Why then would Eli choose this specific moment to let Olivia know how off the market Jake is? For him to kind of do it in the way that he did, with a loving gesture, I just don't trust him. He's up to something. And later on in the episode, LBJ, the scene you were just talking about, the two of them at the table, okay? Olivia is sitting there wanting so badly to be in denial. She's wanting so badly to believe that she can have a relationship with her father where she just forgets the fact that he is evil incarnate, okay? And she's trying, but she just starts to have all those flashbacks, LBJ, to all the times that he lied.
Yes.
He manipulated her. And LBJ knows in that moment she's got to do something.
Yeah, I call that moment discernment, Janiyah. I wrote in my notes, I said, Olivia sits and discerns. She discerned that her father was being dishonest. She had to call a thing and realize who her father is and say to herself, Olivia, get up and figure out what this man is doing. Go back to Huck, who knows this man, and figure everything out. And what does she do? In that moment, she trusts her gut. I love how she played that, though. She sat there and he's talking about his retirement. I'm going to go and get a boat and go fishing on my boat and do this in my boat, in my boat, in my boat. And she goes out and then she comes back and she's just like, well, cheers to a happy retirement. Cling. And I was just like, very well played, Olivia. You got it back. You got it back. And now that you have it back, you need to go back to Huck and say, let's figure this whole thing out. What I liked about the moment with Huck is the fact that Olivia and Huck are like brother and sister to me. And I feel like this could have been what Olivia and Harrison could have been, made the TV gods rest his soul. And I feel that
Rest in peace, Harrison.
Yeah,
rest in peace, Harrison.
Hashtag never forget Harrison.
Hashtag never forget.
But I feel like Olivia and Huck now.
If I didn't have good hardwood floors, I tip my drink to Harrison. I can't get my good hardwood wet. So
no, don't get the hardwood wet. No. Don't waste good water on hardwood. So I feel that Huck and Olivia have this sibling relationship that they both work through, and inside of this relationship, we see over and over again the brother looking out for the sister, which in essence, there's always not necessarily a brother looking out for the sister. It's more of like the dominant sibling looking out for the less dominant sibling. Yeah. In this relationship, Huck really is the dominant sibling in this realm. Olivia has dominance when it comes to peace of mind and stability, but Huck, when it comes down to the get down to that dirty, grimy strategizing, he knows how to figure that thing out. And Ricky Ra is again in here. Olivia just sounded so dumb with Huck. Huck has been right all along about Papa Pope. And Olivia had that realization. And so she went back and she said, we've got to figure this thing out. And then, but she tries to figure this thing out, but she's still on her, what I call the fence of D. She's still so defensive. And in her defense, she goes back and forth with Huck with this whole resistance, this power struggle. And he's looking at her, mind you, he's looking at her like, you're crazy, girl. And he's not looked at her like that in a while, if you think about it. And when Olivia looks like him like that, she's like, she's just going in on him. Like, what am I going to have to do? Pull you out of a hole again? Hey, I'm sick of pulling you out of holes. When are you going to have to stop going down there and going to darkness? And she says to him, Olivia, what does she say to him? Olivia says to him, because he's going on and on and on about her father. She goes, don't lecture. Don't give me a sermon like you don't know. And she growled at him. Did you hear him growl? And Huck is sitting there looking at her like this.
He's like, yeah, seen this before.
Yeah, and he's just like, he said, your guy's
apple don't fall far from the tree. That's what Huck is thinking.
Right.
fall too far.
Fish don't fry in the kitchen, and apples don't fall far from the tree.
LBJ, Huck says, you know what? I never thought about it until this moment, but you were made, Olivia. You were made. Yeah. He called it out right then. Listen,
too much expression in your face. You have to be real flat. The way he did that, it was so good.
Yes. He said, it just hit me. I never thought about it before. You were made. You were made, Olivia. With his dead eyes, Huck in his dead eyes. LBJ, he's completely right. Olivia is the original Eli Pope creation.
Yep.
Okay. Hashtag command has been in control since she took her first breath.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what, LBJ? She is, for all intents and purposes, a goner. Yep. And we all want so badly for Olivia to be redeemed. We keep looking for it. We want it, but we have yet to really see it. And Huck called it directly out. Huck called it directly out. He said, listen, you know what? Maybe you don't have an alter ego like those of us who live in Big 613 land. He said, but you do have your father there. And you thrive off of him. You love it. You know, you need him in order to breathe. Because as long as he lives, then there is another side of you that is allowed to thrive in evil. Because you will always be able to look at him and say he's worse. Huck just called her right out. And you're right, LBJ. It's just like a brother-sister relationship. Really, really gave it to him real.
Mm-hmm.
And Candace calls it out in the chat. Hey, Candace. She said Olivia honestly doesn't know how to conquer her father or her emotions towards him. She lives between love, hate, and indifference with him. You summed it up right there, girlfriend. That's exactly what it is. She's completely torn, LBJ. She doesn't know how to handle any of this. By the end of the episode, she has come to a revelation. She has come across, and she agrees now with Huck, that she does need to figure out what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
She figures out who Jake's girlfriend is, and she starts to investigate. Before she does, she basically gives Jake a heads up. She says, Jake, what is my father up to? Just tell me. Tell me and I can help you. The reason she makes a conjecture. She says, I think my father's trying to drive a wedge between us because he knows I'm going to figure out what he's up to. And Olivia gives Jake a chance to be on her side. And we see it in his eyes, LBJ. We see him wanting to once again just hope for that sunlight with Olivia once again. And LBJ, he gets a ring on the phone. Who is it? It's the NSA calling. And he has to leave.
Yes.
So Jake's out. Olivia's on her own. She walks into OPA power walk. Bam, 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 bam. Follow me. We're in. And before you know it, now we've got a case for next week. We are investigating Jake's girlfriend, everybody. The jig is up. We don't trust them. What are they up to?
We don't know what they're up to, but what we do know is this woman's name, who is alleged to be Jake's girlfriend, and her name is Vanessa Moss. We need to put a pin in that and not forget who Vanessa Moss is. Did you peep how Olivia walked into OPA, not with the white coat on or with a white hat? She walked in dressed in all black like the Omen, because you know it, with black leather on the top of her outfit. Did you see how the costume choice they made there?
They do such a great job of just, following the storylines with her wardrobe. Oh, I just love it, LBJ. I just love it.
It was pretty noticeable because she's always wearing these, clean colors. And then she walks in, and not that black isn't clean, it is, but the way she walked in with some authority, but it was an authority of boldness. Like, she was like, you know what, I'm going rogue a bit, and I'm going to figure out who this hussy is sleeping with my jump off.
Yeah.
She can't have my jump off. And I thought that was pretty interesting to take a look at that. There,
LBJ, when you use the big J, jump off, you know who I start to think of. The other big relationship that was brewing tonight, and that was between Fitz and who? Homick Hopans.
Homick Hopans.
Okay, the reporter Lillian Foster.
Forster.
Get her out of here, LBJ. What is she up to? She has not been vetted. She cannot be trusted.
She is up to no good, but I will tell you, Janiyah, based on what we saw tonight, she's got someone coming for her, and she's coming for her hard, and it's going to be Gabby Abby Red, because we saw a tremendous development in the relationship between Fitz and Gabby Abby Red tonight. in one simple sentence. It was all summarized at the end of the episode when he stared her eyeball to eyeball after she went off on him. It's like, if you're going to fire me, fire me. Yabba yabba doo, dabba dee ba dabba dee ba dabba doo ba day. And he's looking at her and he's like, I just have one thing to tell you. I want you to call me Fitz. If I'm going to talk to you about my sexual life, you have to call me Fitz. I was just like, breakthrough for Gabby Abby Red. Congratulations. You are officially work wife. Bravo to Gabby Abby Red.
It may have been I agree with you. It may have been a breakthrough for Gabby Abby Red, but I'll tell you what else it was. It was a vicious cycle for Fitz.
Yeah,
okay, Fitz cannot understand women unless they are yelling at him and telling him what to do.
That's true.
You know, Gabby Abby Red, she tries to treat him like the president he is. He does not respond well to that. He doesn't know what to do with that kind of relationship where someone defers to him and wants him to make decisions and wants him to be a leader. He likes to be led around by the nose. He likes to be told what to do. Mm-hmm. So as soon as Gabby Abby Red basically read him his rights, he then is like, oh gosh, now you're my best friend. Oh my gosh, you're so great. Call me Fitz. You know what, Fitz? You are just, I'm looking for your spine. I feel like we haven't seen it since the second episode of season 1. Has anybody? Where is it? I mean, where's your spine, Fitz? I mean, the man needs to just really to get it together. I hate the way he just lets people boss him around and manipulate him. He has these moments where he finds his strength, but because he never has a follow through, it ends up just being shallow posturing. Fitz, Ho Mick Ho Pants cannot be trusted. Why can't you see that?
Yeah, it's good. And you know why he doesn't see it? Because of the nectar. He's tapping a tree that does not have a full supply of nectar. That nectar will run dry, and he won't be able to tap that tree anymore. And her true roots will be revealed, and it won't be anything that is favorable to the White House. We already know who she is.
Yes.
Her photo has now leaked leaving the residence of the White House, and she's got all kinds of crazy bedhead. Then Gabby Abby Red kind of goes in on him, and she's like, look, let me help you. Let me really, really help you figure this whole thing out. Ricky Ra, you are hitting it on tonight. Says Fitz is being played. That reporter is up to no good. Just like we said last week, Fitz is being the spoiled little boy playing with new toys. I love Gabby Abby tonight. She sniffs the wrong about that woman. And that's what I wanted to point out between Gabby Abby Red
read that
and
again.
Fitz.
Read that again.
She sniffs the wrong about that woman.
Oh, that's so well said.
Sniffs the wrong. That's good, Ricky Rob. Very, very good. Like, it's like sniffing the wrong. I smell it. I smell the wrong. And that's what she's doing. And he tried to figure out, didn't say to her, he said to her, he was like, oh, wait, what were you saying?
I was saying, I think it might be Rakira. Or tell us how to pronounce your name in the chat. Is it Rakira or Ricky Ra? I think it's Rakira.
Maybe it is Rakira. I think I said Rakira like maybe several episodes ago too. So,
yeah.
Ricky Ra or Rakira, I'm so sorry.
I'm pretty sure.
Give us a pronouncer in the Q&A. Like, give us with the pronouncers with like the ra. Like, give us that whole thing in the Q&A. But yeah, so there was a moment where Fitz tried to give Gabby Abby Red an opportunity to say that. And I think he wanted her to say that, like, you are barking up the wrong tree. Leave her alone. Go, leave. But she didn't do it. She couched it. She couched it under her wanting Olivia there because she said Olivia is one of them. She's family. She looked out for them. She held their secrets, and she wanted her to be there with her during this time. And so she was kind of blindsided by the whole sisterhood that they share.
Yes.
And missed her opportunity to say, she ain't the one, Fitz. But now that she can call him Fitz, she probably will say something like that to him.
LBJ, I just want to thank you so much for calling out right now this moment of relationship between Olivia and Gabby that was playing out in this episode, okay? Gabby Abby Red and Olivia had a real sister girl moment in this episode. And it was when Gabby Abby Red, you know, she's had this exchange with Fitz, where Fitz is calling out the fact that at the end of the day, he sees Gabby Abby Red as Olivia's friend. At the end of the day, no matter what, you can call me Fitz, but guess what? you will always be Olivia's friend. And he acknowledged that tonight. He drew that line clearly in the sand, okay? And you know what Gabby Abby Red said to him? She said, yeah, my allegiance is to my friend. She said, you know what? Let me just underline your line, okay? She said, I'm fine with that line. And then LBJ is a sister girl moment. Gabby Abby Red picks up the phone and calls Olivia and says, Olivia, I have something to tell you, but you don't want to know. And then they exchange what only true girlfriends can exchange, which is the moment of silence where the entire truth is revealed. When it's your real girlfriend, you don't have to say a thing. And the whole message is translated. LBJ, they had a few seconds of silence, and Olivia, she knew. Fitz is seeing someone. Okay?
Let me just say that you always give me some kind of nugget that proves to me that you also belong on some like women's panel, because you always lead men into the lives of the sisterhood of the sisters. And you share nuggets like that. That was pretty good. I didn't even think about that. I guess she didn't know when she did that. I thought it was in her saying, I thought it was in her saying, I just shouldn't have called you. I probably shouldn't have called you. I probably shouldn't have called you. I was like, just tell her. Like, tell her. I guess she did tell her.
She did tell her, LBJ. And then there's another moment that is uniquely feminine. Okay, there is another moment that is uniquely woman in that scene. And that is after Olivia gets off the phone with Gabby. She says, you know what? I don't want to know. So she knows. Okay, the message has been received. She hangs up the phone. And this is why, Kerry Washington, I am your fan at this point. Have been for a while. Because in that scene, you see in her face, LBJ, all of the feelings. Okay? What is she feeling? She's feeling angry. She's feeling resentful. She's feeling disgust, LBJ. And more than anything, she is feeling disappointed in herself because she feels those other things. She's thinking to herself, why can't I lose this presidential demon from my spirit? Why? Why must I hold on to this man who is not for me? Why do I continue to want these things I really do not need? And that is what you see in Kerry Washington's face. It was just such a wonderful moment, I think, in terms of her portrayal of this character.
I feel like you could probably improv a Scandal Serenity prayer at this point, the way that you just did that. I think that you could be like, God, grant me the serenity to get rid of the grant that I have now granted myself. Give me the wisdom to get rid of this grant and encourage and the courage to step away from taking and drawing down any more from this grant.
Yes.
And grant. And a Scandal Serenity prayer. That was good. You said, why can't I loose this presidential spirit from me?
That's what it is. That's what it is. Every woman watching this chat knows what I'm talking about.
That is so funny. But listen, there are several people that are also watching this live on YouTube. And hey, everybody,
everybody.
One of the people watching is Gigi Johnson. Gigi Johnson says, "What is up with Cyrus and Tom tonight?"
Okay, I'm so happy. This is my favorite storyline of the night.
What is up with Cyrus and Tom? Okay, let me just say,
thank you.
Like, did you see? Were you looking at the whole meeting in the apartment, and then Tom comes walking out in the bath towel? Like, huh? What were you thinking was going on this time tonight? I need to know from you.
That was literally me here in my living room, shocked and amazed, completely stunned. Because in LBJ normally the moment where your prediction comes true every episode.
Yes.
LBJ, I have one tonight. What did I say about Tom?
I forgot. Toot your own horn. Toot your horn. Get it. Toot it.
I said that Tom is like a minion. He is literally just searching the earth, always looking for a bad guy to follow. That's all Tom does. Tom is not a leader. Tom is a right-hand man, and that's wonderful. That's a really, everybody can't be the leader, okay? Tom will just roam the earth, okay, all throughout time, just to find what bad guy he can support. And at this point, somehow, Tom and Cyrus have linked up. And Tom, when we see him, he comes from around the corner, soaking wet.
With permission.
Fresh out the shower, okay? In whose room? Cyrus's room, okay? And it was so crazy because in that scene, we were watching Cyrus talk with one of his employees, somebody from the White House, who had been vetting who? Governor Vargas.
Yes.
Let's back up. You will recall, everyone, that Governor Vargas is the person that Cyrus spotted last episode. That was when Cyrus emotionally left Fitz and gave himself closure from that relationship and said, I have done all I can here. I rode this horse to the end. It's going out the pasture, but I still got work to do. He set his eyes on Governor Vargas. And so the first time we hear of Governor Vargas in this episode, he is being vetted by Cyrus via one of Cyrus's junior-most employees. That employee is vetting Governor Vargas very thoroughly. You know what kind of vetting I'm talking about. He's lifting up the carpet. He's peeking in the closet. Okay, he's digging under those fingernails. All right, he's trying to scrub it free. Can't find any bad news about the guy. Okay, and that is when who comes around the corner? Naked Tom. Okay?
Naked Tom.
Naked Tom. And Cyrus does what?
That's you making that money from your prediction.
Look, make it rain.
Make it rain. Uh-oh, ka-ching, ka-ching. Hey. Hey.
Sorry. You know what? The feminist in me should not be doing that gesture. Okay? LBJ, Naked Tom comes around the corner and Cyrus sends him to work. He says, Naked Tom, go help me make a president. And what does he send Naked Tom off to do, LBJ?
He goes to send him to make a president in only the style that what I call Cyrus version 1.0 can do. That was Cyrus season 1, episode 1 or 2 from Scandalous. Oh, it was so good to see that Cyrus return. It was so good. And what I liked about it is that I called it V 1.0 because that he was really, we saw him reverting back to that person that he was, stealing an election to help get Fitz elected as the president of the United States. And that's what he's doing for Francisco Vargas. Jake took those orders, went and found that man and got that man emotionally connected to this thing through his son, which they somehow connected back to Charlie, who was being babysat by Charlie and Quinn Robin Lindsay. And then they get the guy to go up into the state capitol in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and he goes and Jake takes out the 2 security guards in the front. He goes and it really puts Francisco Vargas to the test. He's like, okay, if he was special ops, he knows how to handle this. Let me give him a special ops. Let me give him some special ops bait and see if he'll take it. I need him to get into the news. And this is how we're going to get him to go into the news. What I didn't like about that part of Cyrus coming back is that we had the innocent loss of life in the show. Two fatalities were held. 2 lives were taken. What am I trying to say? There were 2 fatalities. Let me edit. Backspace. Go back in. Cut. Paste. Copy. Insert. There were 2 fatalities, and those families now have to mourn the loss of their loved ones.
And LBJ, a child made fatherless. Don't forget about that.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And the next thing is that there's now a child who is stuck without their father. And this poor little kid does not even know that what's going on with his father. He doesn't know anything. We should have known something was going on because Charlie, remember, walked into the room when Quinn Robin Lindsay was watching the breaking story, and he walked in, changed the channel, and said he should not be watching that. We thought that it was because he's a child watching that, but we saw last night on Blackish that children watch all kinds of craziness develop on the news. Charlie didn't want him to see that because it was his father that they were going to name as the shooter on the news, and he did not need to know that. Why? Because it would then send off all kinds of alarms with Quinn Robin Lindsay. I will say that it was very, very clever to see the linkage between Cyrus and Jake and then Charlie come together in this episode. It was classic Scandal.
Yes.
I love that. To me, that was the wild card. The wild card was not Lillian Forrester, the new Home Pants of the White House. No, the wild card was the connection between Cyrus, Jake, and Fitz. Kimberly Johnson. Hey, Kimberly Johnson says Cyrus does his best work. Is this your friend, Janiyah?
That's my friend.
Hey, go best friend. That's my best friend. Go best friend. That's my best friend. She gonna do it. She gonna do it. Kimberly Johnson. Kimberly Johnson says Cyrus does his best work when he is getting it in.
Yes.
Tonight was epic, classic Cyrus. Kimberly Johnson, you echo my sentiments. That was classic Cyrus tonight in the episode. And Janiyah, Rakira also has something in here as well. Rakira, you didn't give us the breakdown of your name, though.
Because I'm right. That's the thing, LBJ. The issue was settled. No one understands your pronunciation. It is
Ricky Ra. Look at the name. It says Riky R-A-H. It probably is Rakira.
Yeah, but I'll tell you who is correct. Rakira. Okay, she said Tom knows his lane. He doesn't veer from his lane. Tom equals goon extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire.
By staying in his lane, he excels. And actually, I'm going to write that down because that's going to be my takeaway for tonight. I'm still in that, Rakira.
By staying in his lane, he excels. That's your takeaway tonight.
By staying in his lane, he excels. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, but again, Rakira, Rakira is dominating the Q&A tonight. She's like, there were so many WTF moments in tonight's episode. You're right, there were so many WTF moments. And then we've got Cyrus, King Goon Cyrus. Cyrus was nothing less than amazing tonight. I agree 100%. Cyrus is the Cyrus that we need him to be on Scandal. The same man who attempted to kill his husband. He attempted to kill that man is relentless.
Yes. And LBJ, I just want to point out now that this person that Cyrus is putting up for president, okay, has now been put in the White House by who? By Tom, who is ultimately Eli's goon.
Yes.
Now, Tom is everybody's goon, apparently. Yeah, he is a goon for hire. But at the end of the day, he is Eli's robot. Okay, so now who does Cyrus actually find himself beholden to? I think that the answer to that question will reveal itself. You have to remember, we already have Jake there now as leader of the NSA. The only thing Eli needs to get right back where he started was to also be at the head of the Oval Office. And so let's all just keep that in mind. And let's just wrap up, LBJ, this storyline and where we leave it tonight. And that is Cyrus and Tom have been successful. They have manipulated a man into going in there and creating a hero scene where Governor Francisco Vargas, who is a great person, has lots of super great qualities, is very appealing politically to both the left and the right. His only flaw was that he was unknown. Well, guess what? Check the box, problem solved.
Check it.
He is now a national hero. Even as Gabby Red is trying to manage her relationship with Fitz, okay? It's not going well because she's in his personal business. You know what she does to get back in his good graces? She brings a hero into the White House, okay? She uses it to distract the world from the fact that Fitz has been caught by the paparazzi with Home Pants. So Cyrus has successfully put Francisco Vargas, okay, right in our mind's eye. There he is now front and center as a hero. Cyrus has activated his plan.
He has. He's activated his plan. But let me tell you, Janiyah, there's going to be something that's going to come out in this episode. I want to tell you, in this season. I want to tell you why. And they're going to end up, Cyrus is dirty. Cyrus is grimy. Cyrus is not B613. Jake is B613. Charlie is. But the guy who was not B613 and is not as dirty and grimy as them is the guy, I forget his name, but the poor father who's now going to go to jail. If you watch that surveillance video that they released live on camera, do you know what I'm about to say? Did you notice what I noticed? I noticed what you noticed, and they're going to pick it up.
They are. You notice it.
They're going to pick it up. They're going to notice that when that man took that shot, and
he looked back.
He looked back. Wait, how did he look back, Janiyah?
He looked back at LBJ.
He did. He looked back, and I was just
Yes,
like,
he did.
"Oh shoot!" And it was an obvious
just
look
stop
back.
it.
He's like this. He's like, boom. Like, it's almost like he could have been like, and I feel like Jake would have been like that meme girl and been like that. I feel like he would have been like that because, and you know, it's gonna take like a Huck or someone or a Quinn to be like, wait, what's going on? What happened? Who is he looking at? Why is he looking at this person? And there's going to be some reflection in a window. They're going to figure out that
they're going to figure it out.
Back to Cyrus or someone, and it's all going to be bloody by the end of the season. I'm making that prediction right now.
You know it is, LBJ. And you know, I have to just say, at the end of the day, we are just watching all of these people that have been crafted by Eli just continue to be the robots that he created, including Charlie, right? So there Charlie is with the dumbest character in all of Scandal, Quinn, okay?
Oh, gosh. Don't do it. Don't do it.
The two of them. Look, Zoe's not here tonight, LBJ. LBJ, we see, you know, Quinn, who is, we all know at this point, she's gone to the dark side, okay?
Right.
We see Quinn and Charlie trying to have some normalcy, trying to pretend like they could be actual two humans in a romantic relationship instead of two monsters pretending. And so here they are about to go on vacation. And Charlie says to her, you know what? A buddy of mine who I used to, you know, do murderous things with, he needs me to babysit his child. And so Quinn goes along with it. She believes him. She thinks she's in the trust zone with Charlie. Charlie manipulated her. Charlie had actually been hired by Tom to kidnap this child, essentially, and hold him hostage, essentially, to have this child out of the way so that Tom could manipulate his father into activating the Governor Vargas plan. Okay? And so Quinn is sitting there with little heart bubbles in her eyes. Oh, I think Charlie's going to be a wonderful father someday. Oh my gosh, she's so great. No, Charlie is not great. Quinn, you're not great either, so who cares? But no, Charlie is not great, Quinn. Okay, he was lying to you. You missed your vacation, and he got paid. Okay, hashtag truth bomb. Charlie is the worst. At the end of this episode, LBJ, everybody who is pulling, you know, the levers, they belong to who, LBJ? Eli Rowan Pope.
At the end, when it's all said and done, thank you. I think this is the perfect way to end. Like at the end,
perfect way.
When it's all said and done, the ultimate clapback is from Eli Rowan Pope, King Clapback, King Power Clapback. He is the. Yes. He said they mentioned the power grab or something in the episode tonight. No, he is the ultimate power grab. That man knows what he's doing. He is this show. And how did we not meet this man in season 1? However, did we make it without him?
I have no idea.
Crazy. So crazy. This man has orchestrated this entire thing, and sometimes he may not even know what he's doing, but he knows that he's like, look, my finger's on the pulse of everything going on in this world, and I dare you come against me.
Every single time, LBJ. And you know what? There is actually a moment in tonight's episode where Olivia said that.
Yes, okay? yes, she did.
Said to Huck, you know what? The reason I'm not fighting, the reason I'm trying to just be in denial is that my father always wins.
Yes.
That's what she said, LBJ. My father always wins. And so the question that we're going to end this episode with tonight was, is he about to win yet again?
Possibly is a great answer. I think Olivia is going to be so scorned that she's like going to go for blood this time. And it's going to take all of the gladiators to really figure something out. You know why? Remember, we already have Huck anti-Rowan. Quinn will follow Huck's lead, right?
Yes.
Then Marcus Walker is the wild card, people. Marcus Walker is the wild card. Why is he the wild card? Because look at Jania's reaction. Look, say Marcus Walker. Say it again. Marcus Walker, Marcus Walker, Marcus Walker. But no, so Marcus Walker, Jania, is going to he might jump on board and get into this whole anti-Rowan Pope thing that's going on.
Wait, LBJ, say Marcus Walker again.
Oh, I was thinking the same thing. Marcus Walker. Marcus Walker. Oh, Marcus Walker, Marcus Walker, Marcus Walker, Marcus Walker.
Is he still?
It is. I was hoping you would do that. I didn't want to tell you to do it, but you felt
Okay,
the vibe. I
I'm
was thinking,
sorry. I just had to do it.
oh, that was so funny.
So good looking to me. I love
Marcus Walker is going to probably be the wild card when it comes to Rowan Pope and Scandal, and it's going to be ever so good when all that stuff hits the fan and when it all
it.
goes.
Really is.
Ooh! Before we say farewell, start taking shout outs and round robins and everything else. Iodine Matrix, I have to kick it off with.
Oh no!
Now, Janaya, please don't step on our twin love. Don't do it.
E2, Iodine Matrix.
Did you say E2? Did you say E2?
Yes.
I'm so mad at that. I'm so mad at that.
E2, Iodine Matrix. Oh. That Quinn, she's like a virus. She
is. Oh, Rakira. Look, Rakira has all the rest of the stuff in the queue in the round robin tonight. Yay! Rakira, you win. Nobody forced David to sleep with Susan Ross. David was so wrong. He crossed the line sleeping with Susan Ross. Don't sleep on Susan. I wouldn't be shocked if she decided to play them all. Yeah. David will wind up married to Susan. Oh, beast.
Yes. And Rakira, I have to agree with you. You know, Tom in the room, Tom naked in the room, Tom working for Cyrus, ? Tom finding that man, Tom getting Charlie, the entire web was profound. But considering what we know about Tom, nothing was ridiculous about it. You know, it wasn't even far-fetched for Scandal. It's completely true. You know, how many times did we think Tom was dead? And he just kept coming back. Yep. The man will not die.
He will never. He's like the Terminator. He's like, I'll be back.
He is a clone.
Yeah,
and
he
there's plenty of him in a closet.
Right, wrapped in bath towels.
Exactly, waiting to be activated. Someone just put the D battery in, ready to murder.
Exactly. In order for Marcus to understand the anti-Papa Pope vibe at Pope and Associates, the truth. People are going to have to tell Marcus the truth about Papa Pope. They're going to have to take away his innocence and let him in on the Pope and Associates crazy. Janaya, did Rakira not affirm what I've been saying all along with Marcus this season?
She did.
I've been saying the same thing all season long. He's going to have to step into the dark. Step into the bad side. Gonna take a mean ride.
It's so crazy because he just really has not done much. The last couple of episodes, he's really just been hanging out in the background, trying to be an employee of OPA and Associates. You know, he's the one, cleaning up the microwave. Okay, he hasn't been doing much. But there's a storyline coming. And Rakira, I have to say, I knew when we met that you and I shared something special. And I see now in the chat, she says, LBJ, I feel your Papa Pope love. Don't understand the Quinn love, but I'm there for you with the Papa Pope love. And Iodine Matrix. Iodine Matrix. Oh,
wait, what did Iodine Matrix say again? I didn't hear you because I was laughing so hard. What did Iodine Matrix say, Janaya?
I can't repeat it. That's a betrayal of our friendship, Iodine Matrix.
Oh man, it's so
I love
good.
Me some Quinn. Oh
man. Well, listen, before we do, my takeaway is that you need to be discerning tonight.
Yes.
And you need to, if you need to sip wine, sip tea, sip water, whatever it is, be discerning in all your dealings. Because if you listen to your spirit, your internal spirit, the still small voice, you will have an opportunity to hear the voice that's telling you the truth and how to operate. That's my takeaway tonight. And I've got 2 more things to share after your takeaway tonight. Go. Oh, and I totally was not on camera, and I was just saying that. It was just all on your face. So my takeaway is be discerning in all that you say and all that you do and all your dealings and happenings. Go, Janaya.
LBJ, I hope it wasn't like, picking my nose or something. When I think I'm here like shuffling papers. LBJ, let me just say, my takeaway for the night is completely stolen from Rakira. She said by staying in his lane, Tom excels. Yeah. What I was actually thinking of as my takeaway, before that wonderful, profound statement was made was about Olivia. And, so much of what we were watching her do in the last episode and this one was try to find comfort in her vices. It's like she's almost saying, well, I'm a horrible person, so I might as well sleep with Jake. I'm never going to have the love that I want or really deserve, so I'm just going to sleep with Jake. I'm not going to have the family structure that I thought I had. It's not real. It'll never be real. My parents are clearly Rogue One and Rogue Two. Okay, so let me just go into denial and pretend like I have a family unit here. And so there are times where staying in your comfort zone is not the right thing for you. But there are times where, you know what, you need to focus. You need to stay in your lane. Mm-hmm. And so I think we all need to, I love the way you said it, LBJ, listen to yourself, follow your true self, be your authentic self in your actions. You know when it's time to get out of that comfort zone, but you also know when it's time to focus.
That's good, Janiyah. That's very good. I think that's an awesome time to end our takeaways.
Yeah,
I've shared my predictions throughout this episode of our Scandal Recap. Do you have any other predictions?
I don't have any other predictions, LBJ. I think we pretty much covered them all. I do have to say, though, Tom as head of the NSA, I kind of thought before tonight's episode, I was thinking that they were gearing up for Tom to have some big public majestic moment and somehow become a person who would bid for the White House. I thought that they were positioning him to become a candidate until I saw Tom, interfacing with Cyrus as candidate. Then I started to think, well, maybe that's where Eli's thumb is going to be. So I don't know, but I am interested to see how Tom's role as the leader of the NSA plays out in this campaign. I'm just in the upcoming campaign season. It'll be interesting to see.
Well, we'll see what happens because we're gonna meet a bad mother fixer in 2 weeks on Scandal, according to the tease. They were playing Batman Pajama. Remember, we are not here next week. We don't return until Thursday, March 10th. So we have a week off next week. I want to send a happy special birthday shout out to my wife, V. Candace Ashley Brown, who will have a birthday next Tuesday, and we actually will be out of town, so we won't have to do that whole awkward hotel Scandal chat thing while we're gone. But I do want to send a shout out to everyone who participated tonight in the Q&A and who always writes on our videos every week. And I want to share this one comment from Sandra Nita Smith Hall. She says, here we go. Thanks for the fun.
Oh my gosh.
For every Scandal Thursday night. I absolutely love the both of you. Thanks for an awesome job. I smile throughout the entire show. Your recap of each show is a major highlight of my week. And she shares her puppy babies in her avatar photo as well. Those are 2 beautiful Cocker Spaniels that are there. Sandra Nita Smith Hall, we thank you so much for watching. We thank you so much. We love you, just like we love everyone else that sends comments and posts on our videos. We don't take it for granted, and we know that this is a labor of love for us, and we know that you guys are hanging out, watching late at night or watching in the morning. And if you're watching at work, right now, we're totally fine with that. Like, we're totally fine with that. If you start laughing, tell us when you laugh. Like, click a thumbs up, thumbs down. We want to hear back from you. Like, we really do. I love when people watch from work. There are people who actually watch us, like, from London, and they'll be replying like hours after we go off the air. Like, so much people watch this live with you guys. I really want to do like a full like live meetup of like the very last episode of Scandal. Shonda, if you're watching, please try to work with ABC and set that up so that we can watch it live around the world. That would be awesome.
Oh, that'd be so great.
That would be great. Love you, Janiyah, for hanging out with you. Oh, and look at here. Thanks for the meeting. Oh,
happy birthday, Candace. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. This is so much fun. I look forward to it every single week. I hate we have to wait 2 weeks. Don't know how I'm going to make it.
It's so soon. We just came back off the break.
We can do it. We miss you. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Bye-bye, everybody. Good night.
Bye.